Good morning. Today's compassion lesson. It was a typical hectic wet spring Saturday, and I was driving to a local department store in search of a baby shower gift for my daughter. She was having my first grandchild. I told my husband I would only be gone a short while because I kind of knew what I wanted to buy. As most rainy spring Saturdays would have it, the traffic was heavy and everyone seemed to be in a hurry. As I was leaving Babies R Us and scampered across the parking lot to my car, I noticed a large brown duck circling the sewer grid. As I approached the duck, she came waddling up to me, frantically quacking. As soon as she had my attention, she turned and waddled back to the sewer grid. As I looked down into the sewer, I counted 11 tiny yellow ducklings. I thought for a moment, saying out loud, that I was very late and very wet and there was nothing I could do. Besides, the sewer grid was much too heavy for me to move. Even out loud, no excuse sounded good enough. I knew I couldn't leave. This was a mother duck and her ducklings were in trouble, and she came to me for help. As I stood there helpless, other people approached to see why I was standing in a parking lot talking to a duck. She circled me relentlessly, quacking. It was quite the spectacle. Just then a young man and his pregnant wife approached me, and I began explaining the situation. Without coaxing, the young man took action. He carefully lifted off the grate and went in after the ducklings. One by one, he lifted them to me. An employee from a nearby store came out with a box, and we began filling the box with the little quackers. 7 ducklings filled the box, and the young man assumed his rescue feat was completed. As he returned the sewer grid and turned to me, he saw the sadness in my face. I knew in my heart that I had counted 11 ducks. 4 were still lost. By now, a small crowd had gathered to watch the rescue. With 7 ducklings in the box, I set the box on the ground and moved away. The mother duck cautiously entered the box of quackers and quieted them down. A couple from the crowd volunteered to take the box to a nearby pond. When they tried to pick up the box, the mother duck flew from the box in a noisy fright. Again, the employee from the nearby store ran through the rain with a top for the box. As the mother duck settled down the second time in the box of quackers, I quickly placed the cover on top. Although the mother duck protested, the couple put the box in their car and set off towards the pond. Everyone seemed happy, applauding everyone's efforts, and then left. But I couldn't. There were still 4 more baby ducks to be found. I stood quietly listening and worrying. They were baby ducks. A half hour had passed as I stood the rainy vigil for no sounds from the sewer except for gushing water. 2 new people came by to ask me why I was standing near the sewer staring down. I explained what happened and that 4 ducklings were still missing. The woman and her daughter then lifted the grate, and suddenly we heard the low quacks of the ducklings calling for their mother over the gushing water. The man with his pregnant wife came to the rescue again, this time armed with a flashlight. He smiled at me and said, 4 more, huh? He disappeared again into the sewer drain and was gone for several minutes. The rain had picked up and the sewer was again being filled with water. The pregnant woman began to openly worry about her husband being in the sewer and how wet he would be. Suddenly his head popped out of the sewer drain, followed by a huge smile. In his jacket were 4 ducklings quacking their heads off. We covered the sewer drain and got into our cars. He waited until we lined up to follow him in his truck to the nearby pond where the mother duck and the other ducklings had been released. With lights on high beam and windshield wipers flapping, as though in a parade, we approached the pond. Standing near the water, the quacking of the 4 stragglers brought the mother duck and her brood to the shoreline to be reunited. My heart was singing and everyone was smiling, like we had all just won the $1 million lottery. I didn't ask for any of the rescuers' names or what made them want to get involved with saving 11 tiny ducklings on a very wet, busy Saturday in spring. I only know I felt as though the mother duck and God were counting on us. When I finally arrived home, dripping wet, my husband looked at me with some annoyance, saying, "Where were you for so long?" I just smiled and said, "Someone quite small reminded me just how precious life is, and that the love that bonds mothers and their offsprings, so you can just stop your quacking."
Please make yourself comfortable in your seat and close your eyes. Take in a deep breath, and as you breathe out, feel your body begin to relax. Now imagine that you are sitting in a beautiful garden. You are comfortable and relaxed, and there is no one around to bother or disturb you in any way. This is a special garden. There are many bushes of a variety of colorful flowers, and they are there just to attract butterflies. And you are surrounded by the most amazing creatures, these beautiful butterflies, all different colors, and one in particular catches your eye. It's a large butterfly of your favorite colors. And this special butterfly begins to flit its way over towards you, and it lands on a bush right in front of you. You can see it so clearly, the detail of the pattern on its wings, the amazing bright colors. You are amazed at this incredible creature as it takes off again and flitters up into the air and around with all the other butterflies around you, and is lost in a swirl of colors. And you find it so relaxing watching these amazing creatures just flittering around the beautiful flowers of the bushes in this very special garden. And you take a moment to feel the joy at having experienced in your imagination the intricate wonder of a creature that is called a butterfly. Now, when you are ready, take in a deep breath, and as you breathe out, have a gentle stretch, whatever feels comfortable for you right now. You are feeling energized and confident and deeply relaxed and ready to enjoy the most wonderful day.